Hi, besties. You've found your community bestie to share thoughts and opinions, recap the shows we love,
Having too much fun.
Bravo should be fun, and have piping hot gossip sessions about the celebrities and Bravo lebs we love, hate, and love to hate. He went on a podcast claiming he had a threesome with two women from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Immediately, I was like, I wonder if it's Brandy and Carlton.
I'm Caitlin Marshall, your pop culture and Bravo bestie. Allegedly allegations. And if you enjoy fun conversation between friends, listening to your bestie rant about shows we can't get enough of, plus enjoy a little bit of, well, ridiculousness.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. There's a spider that is coming down. Hold on.
It's like the Blair Witch Project.
Oh my God. Has anybody seen my ring?
Oh my God.
I don't want to ruin the party or anything.
Have you seen my ring? Oh my God. Can you look on the floor for my ring? God, someone's gonna kill me.
Don't mess with me because I will come.
What? Oh.
Feel free to leave that in for whatever entertainment purposes.
You're in the right place. So thanks for joining me on Besties by Bravo. Hi, besties. Thank you for joining me today, August 1st. It's Thursday. I'm so glad to be here with you all. There has been a bit of gossip in the last week or two that we need to have a little gossip session. Okay. Be sure and join the chat if you are live here on YouTube, because I want to hear what you have to say about some of this. And I'm just always happy to hear from the bestie community. Let's start with the obvious, right? Jax Taylor, he entered a mental health facility to seek treatment. Now, here's the thing. I know that The Valley season 2 is filming right now. We know this, okay? We've seen the cast posting about it, all of it. And it's interesting because we haven't seen Jax posting about being on this season. We haven't seen him in any of the photos. And I know with him checking into this facility, a lot of people were like, hey, is this like a PR stunt? What's going on? We wondered, when it came to him and Brittany. Now, I have to say, Jax checked into an inpatient mental health facility. And the difference between inpatient and outpatient, as we all know, is inpatient means you're a patient in the facility. So one, what does that mean? He's staying there. Two, that means he most likely has no phone. Three, they're filming. So this is where I'm at with it. Mental health is, God, it's such a real thing. I mean, personally, I've been struggling in my own life. Y'all know I've been I missed last week doing my Thursday with y'all because mentally I was like, I need to be with my child. And being a parent is hard enough. Potty training as a parent is hard enough. Just being a human is hard enough. Let's just be real. We've seen Jax over the years. We can surmise a lot of things from what we've seen from Vanderpump Rules all the way to The Valley and his behavior online, things like that. We can speculate. I'm not going to publicly speculate about substance abuse or not because nothing has been confirmed, denied, anything like that. And he's going through a separation, possible divorce. So unless it comes from the horse's mouth, what can you say? But one, obviously, I'm not a doctor. So me saying some of this is to say that, well, maybe we could sense some narcissistic traits in him over the years. armchair quarterback here. Some anger issues, most likely anxiety, possibly even depression issues. A lot of depression can be rooted in anger when it's not just a chemical imbalance, it can be circumstantial. Regardless, I mean, we knew something was going on whenever he was posting the Buddha quote, inspirational quote, and posting onto his stories saying, like, oh, healing, like that little sticker of healing and books. But that being said, with an inpatient facility, it's not conducive for filming a reality TV show that's about your life. So, most likely, they will not be able to film at this mental health facility. And to me, that means something big happened. Okay. You could call it rock bottom. You could call it, I don't know, seeing Brittany live her best life and see that Brittany's going to be okay without you. Some men need to see. Well, I won't just categorize it as straight men, but some men need to see that you will be okay without them in order to realize, oh no, she is going to survive without me no matter what. And maybe that's part of it too. I think there have to be a lot of things going on. Um he had posted yesterday that, like, on his Instagram feed, a picture of him and Cruz, who, he's 3. Ironically, somehow I have my child is the same age as so many of these VPR alum, and I guess we'll say current cast members. Their kids are he's 3, and he put in the caption, "Working on getting better for you, buddy. I love you." I hope this is something for Jax that he is going to get so raw and honest in a way that he realizes there are no cameras around. Because something about Jax that I've said before, especially with him filming The Valley and having a break from him for a while, he can be incredibly contrived. And I really, really hope, for his son's sake, I'll say, because I also hope for Brittany that she's able to move on and see him make changes for their child. But I really hope he is choosing a different path than he's been on. Now, again, people are speculating, was it the pasta? Was it alcohol? Was it any, what have you? We don't know. But if you follow Zach Peter, he had a listener, a viewer in his community saying that they saw on their Citizen app, I think that's kind of like Ring, that the police were called to Jax's house and that Brittany and Cruz weren't there. This is completely unverified, so bear with me. But it sounds like he really hit a wall in the way he was living his life. And God bless. I really hope, really, really hope that things are going to change. Now, I want to read you Rachel Leviss because God forbid this not be about Rachel. She posted to Instagram, okay? And she types this out in like her notes app. And it says, "To Jax." Let me amplify. Okay. "I am deeply saddened to hear of Jax's mental health struggles, and I wholeheartedly support his decision to seek treatment. I pray that his news, I pray that his news is met with the open-mindedness that mine lacked as I faced mockery and accusations of simply being in a spa. I hope he finds the healing that I did through my own journey. This situation highlights the urgent need for mental health care and accessible treatment for reality stars." Okay, here's the thing. A lot of people were in her comments like, how you made this about you. She did. She did. It was a very Sheena Shea move. But at the same time, don't you think she kind of did need to speak out on it in some way, shape, or form? Yes. But could it have been Jax? I'm saddened to hear Jax is going through this. as someone who has been on reality TV myself, I'm rewriting it for her. I know the pressure that comes with your life being scrutinized and every poor choice decision you make being blown up and ridiculed, things like that. I hope you get the help you need. Godspeed. Because that's how you make a statement that shows empathy, as in empathy versus sympathy. Sympathy is I can't relate, but I feel bad for you. Empathy is I know how that feels and I feel bad for you. She could have had empathy without making it about her. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not in PR, but doesn't seem like Rachel had the guidance on that she maybe needed. Yeah, again, God bless. Okay. So again, I was looking into, okay, they're filming the Valley. Who's there? It looks like the girls right now are in Santa Barbara filming something. The girls and Zach, the girls and the gays. So at first I was like, oh my God, Jax just isn't going to be a part of anything. And then Danny had posted to his Instagram stories that he was on the Warner Brothers lot. So that's my best guess. Now, Jax did post 2 weeks ago on his birthday at Jax's Studio City that they were celebrating. Brittany was there and Janet, Jesse. I'm not sure again, but I genuinely believe that something major happened. And it was like, oh my God, if this doesn't get addressed and changed and fixed, it's going to be bad. And, Jax is 45 years old. Kind of scary. I know it's scary because it reminds us all of our own ages and mortality. Okay. Spiraling death thoughts now. Anywho, speaking of spiraling death thoughts, Vicki Gunvalson. That's kind of a tongue twister to say her name. God bless. Victoria. She has been sued by a 74-year-old woman for financial elder abuse and fraud. It's a little confusing because there aren't specific damages listed, but this woman named Diane, okay, she and her husband, George, they had a combined net worth of $6 million, due in part to some investments and, stuff they made in stocks, funds that she inherited from her deceased mother, that her mother passed back in the early 2000s. And here's what it comes down to. George became seriously injured in this bicycle accident the same year that they had reached out to Vicki and wanted to look into investing with her, maybe life insurance, things like that, because that's one of Vicki's biggest things is life insurance. Well, during that time, Vicki was like, well, if you're not investing at least $500,000, yeah, I'm not the person for you. So Vicki directs George and Diane to her business partner, Ali. He's got this company, Allianz, Allianz 222 annuity. And that's when the insurance company offers a contract that should help reduce an individual's taxes and ensure, that they have this steady flow of income. So the complaint states, Diane has always left the money in this account, never ever been touched, for the sole purpose of growing it for her daughter. Well, in 2019, Diane meets Vicki at a dinner party hosted by her company, Kodo Insurance. And Vicki was like, yeah, I'm interested in working in investments with you. And Vicki allegedly promised that she would help Diane diversify a safer plan for her and that she would help lower the taxes she had been paying, which would help increase the future potential financial capital for Diane's children. Okay. So Diane admits that at the time she was especially vulnerable. I'm sorry, it's Thursday. It's been a very long week for me. I'm getting my words together. Bear with me. Okay. And some of my notes, I was scrambling. Okay. We're here. We're enjoying it. Anyway, Diane admits that at the time she was especially vulnerable, being plagued by the quote unquote anguish and trauma as her husband's health was not doing well because remember, George was in a bicycle accident. Well, she then allegedly was advised by Vicki and her business partner Ali to invest in life insurance, which quite frankly wasn't a terrible idea to begin with. I'm surprised that she wasn't already investing in that, okay? Especially at the age they were at. But Diane claims that they failed to tell her how much it would cost and were instead trying to tell her, look, this is going to be a great deal. You're going to make so much more money. You're going to save money on the taxes. It's going to be fantastic. Well, Ali allegedly told Diane that the contract was just like one and done, $300,000 to cover the $6 million payout for her family when she passed. Diane now says that this agreement was intentional, misleading, and was a false misrepresentation because the $300,000 was an annual fee and not a one-time payment. $300,000 annual fee. Y'all, when I see a credit card, which sometimes I'm like, should I get another one? I shouldn't. But sometimes then I'm like, oh my God, a $200 annual fee? No, not happening. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Love you, Amex, but I'm not going to do that. $300,000. Jesus Christ. So back in 2019, Diane signed the deal, quote unquote, in reliance on Vicki's fraudulent sales tactics. And this was combined with the despair, this is in quotes, that Diane was suffering from as George's health was spiraling from this accident. Diane still continued to experience more issues. She was diagnosed with lung cancer, and this was back in 2022. She had to have surgery that December. And in February of 2021, she kind of just felt like she was tied up. And that's when she asked for an additional $300,000 payment, or when she was asked, for a $300,000 additional payment to this insurance. Yeah. And she paid it again because she was like, well, I don't have a choice, right? I've come this far. So when her husband passed away in October of 2021, Vicki and Ali were again allegedly persuading her to transfer her late husband's funds into a separate annuity account. And they were telling her this is going to be to your benefit, all of that. February 2022, she pays another premium of $300,000. Well, if that's the annual premium, you're paying it once a year. Okay. Unfortunately, that's how it goes. That's why you have to read contracts. Okay. So by December of that year, she recognized she had gone into the contracts with Vicki and Ali and was feeling uninformed. Again, she felt that this agreement would tie up large sums, and this is in quotes, of money for a long time that she may never be able to use for maybe longer than she will live or will be too old to enjoy. And that's per the complaint. These were all unanswered questions that Diane never received an explanation about. Now, I can understand that Diane wants to enjoy some of this money before she passes. I don't know what her health condition is now. It doesn't sound like it's great. She did have, a lung cancer diagnosis and then a subsequent surgery. But at the end of the day, it's kind of confusing exactly how much she's asking for. She's claiming that Vicki and Ali really were just bamboozling her with this $300,000 premium. Now, that's what they make the money off of, is those premiums. So I don't know. She also says that she eventually decided to directly contact Ali or Alliance, and that's with a Z, financial services company, which was overseeing the annuity account. And she was allegedly told by a rep that she does not have to send any payment at all because she in fact had an excess of funds in her account. And this was after she'd been trying to contact them, and it was just like repeatedly getting shut down. So at the conclusion of this lawsuit, defendants planned and engaged in their pattern of elder financial abuse with malice, oppression, and fraud. Now, Vicki and her reps have vehemently denied that Vicki has done anything wrong here. It's interesting because Vicki's been in business 34 years, her own company. We know she likes to work, 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 work. And it's also interesting that this is the only thing we've ever heard of being brought up against Vicki in this realm. I think that it's very sad what this woman Diana's going through, but it's hard to tell exactly what went down here. It just sounds like her daughter, maybe. Allegedly. I'm just my thought, my opinion. Excuse me. I'm trying to speak in the smartest way possible on this. Sounds like her daughter was like, "Mom, where's my money?" And knows that she's kind of screwed there. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, I do hear, that Miss Sheena Shea is going to be judging the Miss USA pageant. Here's the thing. A lot of people have been like, Sheena Shea, of all people, judging Miss USA. Okay. I do want to reiterate something I've tried to make clear before, because remember, I myself competed in the Miss Oklahoma Teen USA pageants and the Miss Oklahoma USA pageants. It is a different system. They tend to lean toward a variety of judges, and most pageants do. Okay, but what's interesting is Garcelle will be hosting this Miss USA pageant. I think we've never seen Garcelle in a hosting position, which will be very interesting. But I think a lot of people are like, what the F is Sheena Shea doing judging a beauty pageant? And I want to reiterate and give a little bit more knowledge on the way the USA system works versus the America system. They're two very different systems. USA, remember, that's the one that Rachel competed in. Because, oh my God, could you imagine? Jesus Christ. Could you imagine if Rachel were still competing? Sheena would never have that position, period. But if Scandival never happened, it wouldn't, if the age limit, my theory is if the age limit on the USA system went up to 32, we never would have had Scandival. That's my theory. Anywho, they did end up deciding that they're going to raise the age limit after Scandival. Y'all, that was that. Yeah, it happened. Anywho, this is the thing with the USA Universe system, because if you win Miss USA, you go on to compete in the Miss Universe system. USA, this is something my pageant coach, Sharon, I love you so much, Mama Sharon. When I first met with her, she looked at me and she said, okay, you're going to be a USA girl. Mind you, I was 16 years old. Don't judge how I look now. But USA is more so the quote unquote like modeling pageant. You do have to have some beauty, brains, and all of that for both. But Miss USA, when you are competing at state level, now I do believe at the national level, once you've won the state title, you are kind of judged throughout the week. Okay. But at state level, you get there on like Thursday. You stay at a hotel for the weekend. Friday is prelims. The very first thing you are judged on is swimsuit. Yes, friends, the very first time the judges lay eye on you is in your swimsuit. Then you go backstage, you change into your evening gown, and you walk around. You don't say a word. You haven't spoken yet. And you go backstage, and guess what? The night is over. You got to see everyone who is competing for the weekend. So 2/3 of the judging is done for prelims, because the next morning you wake up and you go to your interview portion. Again, 2/3 of the judging is done before you open your mouth. And I'm going to reiterate this. My first year competing in Miss Oklahoma Teen USA, I won the interview superlative. And guess what? I didn't make top 5. Now, normally, any other pageant, if you win interview, you win the whole thing. No, I didn't even make top 5. I will say allegedly, only because legally I would have to. But I do recall one year being at the Thursday night event after the banquet, and one of the maybe directors of the pageant saying, "We tell the judges when you make it to top 5 not to pay attention to what is coming out of your mouth, but what you look like when you make top 5 and you are asked 3 questions, one being an icebreaker that you are aware is coming, but you don't know which one. Was it 2 or 3? Now I'm wondering if it was 2. And one question from the judge that you don't have any preparation for." So, in case you were wondering what USA is about. Now, America is a bit more of a scholarship pageant. They do have the talent competition. USA has no talent competition, and I will continue to make this joke till the day I die. I'd say I compete in USA. We have no talent. Jokes. But you do have to have a presence. Because people are like, well, what's the point of it then? Well, you do need to represent your country in a specific way. It's not the Olympics, but it's the Olympics of looking pretty in a dress and a swimsuit. If you want to know the truth, it's really what it's like. Now, this is a little off from Bravo, but did you know Britney Spears? I love me my Britney. She is having her book, The Woman in Me, made into a biopic, and it is the producer of La La Land and the director of Wicked putting it together. Are you all excited? I'm very excited. And just so you know, friends, it's going to be a short show today because there's not a ton going on, but there's enough that we can chit chat a little. Now, we do know, again, Phaedra is going to be coming back to Atlanta, as in the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And a lot of people were saying that she just walked off of Married to Medicine because Apollo, her ex-husband, remember Apollo Nida, his wife, was invited on this cast trip with her. And she was like, no, absolutely not. And they were trying to say that this new wife was reading her for filth. And the thing is, Phaedra actually did complete her filming obligations for Married to Medicine. And now she's coming to Atlanta. In very sad news, along with that, Apollo, about a week ago, was arrested and charged with family violence against his current wife because she had to call 911 on him. Okay. Now, with that, didn't Apollo chase Phaedra around their garage with a drill? Makes me sad. But I hope we are done with Apollo Nida because he can come back and say, I'm better. I'm changed. Look at me. I'm still good looking. Come on, Sheree. You're my friend. Let me walk in your fashion show. Can I tell you something that really got me excited? Katie Maloney and Connor Newsom, from Love Island, USA, not Gavin Newsom's relative, even though I really did wonder. But from Love Island, USA, they were spotted having a cozy little din-dins at Laurel Tavern in Studio City 2 nights ago. Now, I love Laurel Tavern. I do. Been there many times. It is very much not a place, let me say this, that you can be sitting there having an intimate dinner if you're going on the weekend. Now, Laurel Tavern has been known to be a great spot for celebrity sightings. Yes, you would be surprised, but it is actually a very good spot considering those two were there. Okay. Now, also Love Island news. It looks like Taylor, and Aaron. Wow. They went on the Best Friends podcast? The one with Dave Portnoy. Yes, there are many feelings about Dave. But this was one of the most unhinged things ever. My friend Jessie was like, oh my God, have you seen this? And so I was trying to, it's an hour and a half long. This is what's hard whenever some of these podcasts, like Nick Viall, I love his podcast. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I don't have 2 or 3 hours to do this. Digressing. Kaylor was essentially saying that she was taking a step back from Aaron after getting to watch the entirety of Casa Amor for the first time since leaving the villa. And, I gotta say, I'm loving that she's now going, you know what? I have a support system around me that, yes, she had her girls in the villa, but like her family, people who have known her for a long time who truly know her that are like, girl, what the hell were you thinking? Letting this man right back in. You didn't even stand up for yourself. Now, let me also address one more thing. Which also, wait, before I move on, by the way, do you know Leah unfollowed Rob? And she unfollowed, I believe, Kaylor and Aaron as well on Instagram. Leah is having a moment. Our Powerpuff Girls, y'all, they are having a moment. Janae, Serena, Leah. Anyway, Jersey. I see. Yes, Adam. I see you're wondering if I've brought up Jersey. I have not brought it up. You are not late on that. I'll just show you a little comment here so y'all know I'm not full of it. Okay. Jersey. Now, Andy did say on Radio Andy, his show, when a caller called in that, yes, he was thinking there was a reboot happening and that it's time to completely shake it up. Then he's been digressing again on it. Okay. Something that was interesting is when Dolores, Jennifer Aiden, and Teresa were at an event all together this last week. They were asked by the Daily Mail, how they feel about these rumors of the casting shakeup. And Jennifer Aiden responded in a very Jennifer Aiden fashion. Well, I'm just going to go back to my fabulous life and painting my 16 bathrooms. Like, Miss Ma'am, okay. Now, it seems like Andy is kind of going backward on his comments because he did say, let me read you the quote. This is him going back on it, but he says, quote, I was just riffing. We are going to reimagine the show in some way. And I was just like, yeah, we're rebooting. Who knows? Maybe it'll all be fresh faces. And that was just me kind of in the mood. Sir, Miss Sir, Mr. Sir. I almost said Miss Ma'am, even though okay. Here's the problem. We can't have Teresa and Melissa on the show together. It sounds like Melissa has made peace from the idea that either she or Teresa, if the show continues as it is, one of them will be gone. And Teresa, in her comment, it was hysterical when Daily Mail asked her about it. She was like, well, people think I have a lot of say in the networks, but no, it's up to the executives. We'll see what they want to do with me. And Dolores, I mean, you have to love Dolores, okay? I love her. I love her. Delo just was like, I love what I do. I don't want it gone. Yeah. So let's just think of it this way. I think the network is going to make some decisions after this finale that we're getting on Sunday. And after whatever this weird BS type of reunion they are having where they are watching the finale, I believe, separately in separate rooms. I mean, come on, you're grown women. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Teresa also did claim that the network cut all these. She literally said, we had receipts, proof, love, love, love. Maybe not the love part, but she said, we have receipts and proof. But the network chose not to show it in that scene at the end of last week where it was the big nothing burger with her little attorney sitting there just nodding his head saying, yeah, I'd never seen Teresa this stressed out, not even when she was going into prison. I think they are floundering for storylines. And I think if they do this reboot, My guess is at first I was like, I think they're going to keep Rachel. Depending on Danielle's behavior at the finale, which it sounds like it gets rather violent. Okay. Physically violent. Depending on what it is that she does and says at this finale, I could see it instead being Danielle that comes back. Maybe Danielle and Dolores. I don't know, but I think, and I like Marge. I really, really do. But I think that I hate using the word toxicity again, especially after Teresa put out this whole statement saying, "Oh, it's just bloggers who are looking to further their own name." Okay. Okay. Well, let me let me say this. I've had conversations with people and I can say that yes, Teresa and her attorney were very much involved. It was mostly Jennifer Aiden because I think Teresa and Jim were trying to keep their hands clean. That's all I'm going to say. Allegedly. Okay. Don't need Louis and his purple veined head coming out after me. Which, by the way, there was also a Crazy Days and Crazy Nights, NT lawyer Blind saying that this New Jersey housewife and her husband on a trip out of the country had an insane blow up fight. Well, guess who's out of the country right now? New Jersey housewives with their husband. Teresa. Yeah, I think Louis is terrifying. I do. There is some sort of it's like he thinks he has this idea in his head of what he wants to be portrayed as, and then he goes on camera and he does it, and I think it's like he wants to be like, "Can I get another take? Troy, can I get another take? Oh my god, I just wait, can I watch it back? Can I see the dailies?" Like, I just feel like he's slimy. It makes me uncomfortable. Makes me really uncomfortable. I'm trepidatious about this finale. I know it's going to be intense, considering we see previews of Teresa calling Melissa a whore. Miss Ma'am, God. Trust me, I know what it's like to. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not gonna do it. Let me just say this. I know what it's like to have frustrations with maybe family members you didn't choose. But unless I had some solid proof that it was something like you are cheating on someone that I love who is important to me, no, I'm not going to go around calling someone a prostitution whore. My God. She's the mother of your niece and nephews. Like, it's just gotten so down low and dirty. And I've said it a million times, so I'll say it again. We love messy. We don't like dirty. Dirty it's just gross. Mess is fun. So, it's also lending to the idea that like you can't just get rid of every single housewife, every single person that everyone is getting frustrated with, right? You can't, because you need to give people a reason to tune in. Why do you think rival football games, sports games, what have you, where it's like two teams that are really intense against each other, why do you think they're the most watched? Because people need someone to root for the hardest, and they root for someone harder when they're against someone that they don't like. We need that, okay? We need that. But when when we're constantly having attorneys involved and doing the name calling, like calling someone a whore, come on. It's high school. And this freaking rumor that Teresa and Jen Aiden tried to start about John Fuda at the beginning of the season, it is so sophomoric. It's just like, what age are we? That's the type of shit I would have expected from Vanderpump Rules season 2. Not now. And I don't even think Vanderpump Rules would have stooped as low as to do that, go into any part of the absolutely who gives an F rumor that Jen and Teresa were starting about John Fuda. Like, for the love of God, I think the Vanderpump Rules, when they were the kids, would have been a bit more open than this and a lot less juvenile, surprisingly. Because at the end of the day, who gives a shit? And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, it was that sexual rumor that they started. I'm not even going to go into it because it's not worth even repeating again. I knew it was coming even before because of everything coming out about the quote unquote bloggers, which again, y'all know how I feel about calling people bloggers for content creators. Anyway, that being said, come on. Let's try again, because there are lots of people in New Jersey. All right. The Teresa has been the show from the beginning. I get it. But Caroline was also the show from the beginning too. And I think Bravo has a lot of things that are happening that show there needs to be a bit of a shakeup in some areas. And I'm hoping they do that with Jersey. As much as it kills me to say it, I do. I do hope so, because it's just gone too far. I think we need to rein it. And that's hard to do with New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Being New York adjacent makes them a little angry. Well, besties, that's about it for today. I'm going to say hi to a few of you here in the chat. I've been kind of just rambling today. There wasn't a huge, intense plan because just one of those type of days. I just wanted to sit here and have a little chit chat with you. Hi, Miriam. Hi, Adam. Yes, I brought up your comment earlier, but yeah, I know. Yeah, Teresa, out. Sometimes you have no one to blame but yourself. And I think Teresa had a huge hand in the takedown of New Jersey. And then I see, Ingold. Oh, you were just watching season 10. A lot of bimbo behavior. Sheena and Brock's second wedding on Mexico is beautiful. And Jax and Britt should have seen this all coming. Kind of like it's all happening. Uh-huh. Well, and then, Annie, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, you know what? We are toward the end here, but hey, I'm just glad you could be here and anyone watching the replay. So it just kind of feels like I said, one of those days where I actually didn't have like a full intense plan and I just started chit-chatting. But thank you so much for joining. If you're watching here on YouTube, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you are listening anywhere you listen, which quite literally is anywhere, Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeart, all of it, please leave a 5-star review. It means the world. Also, check out the Pop Culture Besties merch shop. I am putting that here in the show notes. There are like over 100 designs on there that are all done by me, and I'm constantly adding to it. So if you want some fun Bravo merch, little pop culture merch, but lots of Bravo merch, check it out. It's not your typical Shop by Bravo merch. We'll just say that. But I will see you all on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, 12 p.m. Pacific. Giorgio will be with me, and he and I have been working on something very, very exciting that no one here is going to expect. We're going to have to take a little more time on it, and we've partnered with someone who's really amazing. And that's all I'm going to say. We had a meeting beforehand before I could jump on here, and my brain's been a little bit on overdrive with that, which is probably part of why today's episode is a little bit more like bleh, a little more disorganized. But I do want to say, it's going to be so good for our Bravo besties, for all of our besties. So cannot wait till we can share it. It's going to be a minute, but it's going to be amazing. Okay. Anyway, All right, besties. Love you so much. I will see you on Tuesday. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy some sunshine because it's August, which means we're getting close to Labor Day. No. Anyway, all right, besties. See you Tuesday.